So when we say never stop learning, you need to understand in the engineering sector that for any engineer currently to be heard, to be listened, to actually participate in the space of an engineering space, you need to be informed, and you need to be educated, and you need to speak the language. You cannot call concrete cement. Concrete is concrete. You cannot call steel that iron. A steel is a steel. Now, if it's a mild steel, it's a mild steel. If it's a high yield steel, it's a high yield steel. So the more you are able to articulate the engineering language, and the more you have a big grasp of it, it's the better for you actually to infiltrate and be respected in a space of an engineering, or in an engineering space. That's the first one. Two, for any professional to be listened, to be heard, to be taken serious, credentials must speak for you. And what do I mean? You don't have to have a PhD, but you need to be educated in your area, or in your space of a profession, or in your expertise. You need to be educated, but it has to be backed up that you have actually written reports to fields that actually will acknowledge you as a professional, like EXA, your PMP, your CACPM, and many other more. So that's learning. And then three, in a space where we are working, we are in a diverse space. We deal with communities, and communities, no matter how educated you are, no matter how much you speak the engineering language, you don't understand it. So your learning, it should be a society learning, how to understand the society, how to articulate the construction language to a layman, into a business forum, into a place where you're doing construction without you having to show arrogance to him. So again, that's learning. But for you to understand that, you need to attend, to these activities. You need to be full-time on site. You need to speak, have a dialogue with these people. Not sure whether you're following me. So when we say learning, we need to understand that we are now in the fourth industrial revolutionary space. You've touched a couple of articles whereby why somebody must actually go to site and verify information, especially for juniors. Why don't we improve things? Why don't we come up with systems whereby you go to site, you take a photo, you put it into your virtual server, let the people in the office have access then to them driving directly to site to go and have a look at things. So you understanding that the global market is going very fast, helps you to even be sort of like you become an asset, because you propose all these technological advancements in the construction space without you always have to do manual working and manual way of doing things. And five, a professional is always recognized by his past. You can never stay a junior for the rest of your life. Somehow, somewhere in the profession, you must be a senior. But there is no company, or there is no person, or there is no industry which will like a senior who is not committed, who does not understand the field just because he has spent years in the industry. So your uniqueness and doing things uniquely compared to the rest of your peers and the world and other professions put you into a mark, and it advertises you and it places you become different. So those are the things that speaks to learning. Look, when I mean explore and do outside your call of duty, you will never learn when you do not actually put yourself into that activity. And why do I say that? for a junior engineer to be recognized in 5 years, you need to give time. You need to give time into the industry. When you are young, it is perceived that you don't have a family. It is perceived, that's not a fact. So it is perceived that you have a precious commodity with you, which is time. So when it's 4:30, stay behind, look at reports, go to sites, study things, look at other ways of doing them, do research, look at how other companies are doing it, look at how other countries, how are they actually attempting those, how are they giving the solutions. In no time, because you are unique and you're giving time, you'll be an asset. You'll then become an asset because you have actually invested more time into what most of the people are not doing. So you then automatically become an asset. For an example, if they say you read drawings, if you stay behind, you read your drawings, you read the details, your architectural drawings, how to interpret your steel and stuff. You even go beyond, you look at mechanical, how mechanical, come up or integrate with electrical, what's a simple way of reading drawings, how to actually explain drawings to foremen and site, all those things. So every time in the morning when people come, you are 50 steps ahead of people who normally come to site and just read drawings. And by doing that, you get recognition, and then you become an expert, and you get compensated for that. So that's the call. That's doing well outside the call of duty. What I've observed is that other people, they become too consumed with work. And when you become too consumed with work, the only thing you know is to speak your work. And when you speak your work, you become so good at your work that you get elevated or you get promoted. But when you are promoted, because you do not have the other side of life, you do not have the other experience, your value chain is incomplete. You cannot able to balance a professional approach to your peers. You will demand your peers to finish a 10 like yourself. You will also make assumptions that your peers don't have kids like yourself. Like yourself, now you went and fetched your child. Now a person who doesn't have a child won't understand this. No matter how good you are, you have to be able to balance, all areas of your life, so that you don't become a thorn, or you don't become toxic in the system. Any professional space, you find people competing without improving themselves. If you decide today to submit an Excel report because you've actually went through all knowledges of engineering, just because I know you and we work for the same company and I also decide to go for an Excel registration, well, I know that I'm not yet fit. And fortunately, then I get accepted and I become a professional. You will become a thorn in the industry because you have not spent time. You are actually not a professional in terms of attitude. You're a professional in terms of competition, and just because you hold a title or because you have this professional registration, you become extremely toxic into the space. Extremely toxic into the space. I've seen engineers who are supposed to spend 5 years just learning. They start doing MBAs, they start doing this, they start doing the master's degrees and that, but they have not learned the basis or the basics. So what do they become? They become over bloated because now they have all these qualifications, they are competing, they want to be there, but they don't want to spend time. And now you find the person, he's got all these qualifications, he's got all this, but he can't speak the language. And they become toxic into the space, or they become toxic into the industry because what they know is competition. And the danger of competition is that you fail to learn because you don't have time to learn, you've got time to compete. So pacing yourself helps you to know exactly your strength, your weaknesses, and then how actually to overcome them, and how to actually improve your strength.